Hi everyone, my name's Linda, this is Beck. Today we'll be taking you through a nice and easy beginner Pilates session focusing on flow and mobility. So we're going to start today sitting on the ground. Just sitting in a nice cross-legged position, and we're going to just start with some breathing. So what I want you to do is just take a nice big breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Again, breathing in, and as you exhale, I want you to try and feel as though you're exhaling and you're breathing out through a straw. And what that'll do is that'll start to connect your deep abdominal muscles. So we'll just do that again. So sitting nice and tall, breathing in, and sitting on top of your sit bones. So have a feel that you're not rolling backwards, or that you're not sitting too far forward, that you're sitting nice and tall, right on those bones, right under your butt there. That's it. And so we're going to be breathing in again. And as you breathe out, I want you to nod your head and just flex forward. Breathing in down the bottom here. And then exhaling to come back up. You can reach your hands forward for this if you want. So breathing in again. And exhaling, flex forward. Breathing in down the bottom, and then breathing out to flex back up. Now on this next breath, we're going to reach behind us. Have your hands behind you, and just breathing in, reaching the arms behind you, opening the chest. And then exhaling, come back to straight. And we'll just do that 2 more times. Breathing in, opening the shoulders, and exhaling straight. And one more time, breathing in and out. Now you put your hands on the back of your head and just clasping your fingers. And we're just going to do a spine twist. So I want you to breathe in, and as you breathe out, we're going to rotate to the right. And then breathing into the middle. And then breathing out, rotating to the left. As you're doing this, I want you to keep your spine nice and tall. And then back to the middle. So growing taller as you rotate. Try not to collapse down into the twist. And one more on each side. One more. And back to the middle. And now we're also just going to do some side bending, so we're going to do some mermaid. So just keeping the legs crossed, arms out to the side, and rotating down on one side. When you touch the ground, reach that top arm over, give it a little bend, and really feel this side rib opening up. And then coming back, inhaling up here, and then exhaling as you reach that top arm. And then coming back to the middle. We'll do 2 more times on each side. Way you can get a bit more out of this stretch of this exercise is to really press that bottom handle into the ground and really get that top ribs opening up. Let's see, 1 more on each side. Great, and now we're just going to get our shoulders moving. So just some shoulder rolls going forward, or is this back? Going back. So just 5 one way, and then 5 the other way. Really get your shoulders right up to your ears. That's it. And now we're just going to do some bigger shoulder rolls. So we'll just get our right arm and lifting it up and rotating it back. And as it goes behind you, follow it with your eyes and rotate that upper body just that little bit. So we'll do 5 rolls this way. And we'll go 5 the other way. So we're going to reach behind and then come up and over. And just follow in your hand with your eyes, just letting the top of the shoulder actually rotate behind you. And one more on the other side. So we'll reach far as is comfortable for you. That's it, and just reverse that action, going back, and then reaching forward. And last one. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to be going down onto our back. So the way we're going to get down there is with an assisted roll. If you might want to go the other way so you can see what we're doing. All right, so when your knees bent, your hands in front of you, arms in front of you, so reached out. What I want you to do is to curl the pelvis away from you, so you're starting to roll down onto your back. And then reaching your arms behind you. Now we're going to reach our arms forward, head, neck and shoulders come up, reach behind your legs and use that to help you up. Coming back into your seated position. So again, arms forward, reaching your arms away like someone's pulling them, and you're rolling back through your lower spine, middle spine, landing gently on your head. Breathing in, arms come up, exhaling as you reach for your legs, pull up on your legs, and use them to help you come up into that seated position. We'll do that 2 more times. Rolling away. Arms coming up, exhaling up. Use your hands, pull yourself up. Beautiful. Just 1 more time, I think. I'm terrible at counting. Arms come up, that's it. Use your legs. And then we're coming up like that. So now we'll just roll back down and stay down there. Beautiful. Now bring your knees in, your feet in just a little bit closer. So we're going to do some foot slides. And before we do that, I want you to place your hands on your bones of your front bones of your pelvis, and just make sure that they feel even, that one's not higher than the other. Like if you were to put a ruler across the front of your pelvis, it would be nice and even. Make sure you've got a little bit of a gap underneath your lower back, what we call a neutral spine. So we don't want your back to be completely flat on the back, and then, but in saying that, I don't want you to be really arched forward, like your back's got some pain. So we just have a nice neutral position. I want you to breathe in, and as you breathe out, let one foot slide in front of you, gliding along the floor. And then breathing in to bring it back. And now we'll do that with the other leg. And breathing in. So as you lower your leg, exhaling like you're breathing out through a straw. You should find that should help connect your lower abdominals and your deep abdominals. And we'll do that 2 more times each side. Now we're going to move our legs into an external rotation position. This exercise is called bent knee fallout. So all we're going to do is let one leg remain still and the other leg opening out to the side. So letting the foot slide onto its outer border, letting the knee drop to as low as you can, and then raising it back up. And we'll go to the other side, letting that knee go to the side. So with control. So I don't want you to just let it fall. You control the leg coming over. And as you're doing that, try and keep the other side of the pelvis nice and heavy on the back of the floor, on the back of the mat, sorry. Then open it back up. That's it, so just keep breathing. Try and keep the pelvis as steady as you can. So think of the weight on the opposite leg, opposite back pelvis, as that other knee drops to the side. And just one more. That's it. Now we're going to go into an exercise called dead bugs. Place your hands down your sides. We're going to raise one leg, keeping that 90-degree angle of the knee. And then we're just going to lower that down and tap the toe and then bring it back up again. So the idea of this one is just to get that movement happening in the hip. So there's no angle change in the knee. So just remember, you're breathing in through your nose and out through 2 more here. And now we'll keep the leg up, and then from here, we're going to extend the knee and the hip. So extend the leg out diagonally and bringing it back, and keep going there. So breathe out as you extend the foot away from the body, breathing in as you bring it back. Just 2 more. That's it, and lowering it down. And now we'll do the same on the other side. So lifting the leg and lowering down. So try and keep the rest of the body still. Using your breath to keep your body and your ribs even on the mat, and your pelvis as well. And now we'll leave the leg up there, and we'll extend the knee and the hip. So pointing the foot away and breathing out. Just 2 more. Great, put the foot down. Okay, now we're going to bridging and get some spine mobility happening. So have your feet on the floor, press your arms down by the side, and we're going to curl the pelvis towards you. So it's like you're going to be flattening your back and lifting your pubic bone up into the air and reaching the thighs nice and long over the knee. When you're here, I want you to breathe in, and as you breathe out, I want you to soften through your chest first, rolling down, landing the spine back the way you lifted it up. So we'll do that again. So take a breath first, and as you breathe out, curl the pelvis up, reaching the thighs long over the knee. Breathe in at the top, and then exhale, rolling back down through the ribs first, and then the lower back, and then the pelvis. So we'll do that again, breathing in, and exhaling up, pressing the feet into the ground, and you get to the top, you can squeeze the glutes, use the hamstrings, and then exhale, rolling back down. So breathing in, as you exhale, lower the tummy, lift the pelvis off the ground, press the feet in the floor, and then rolling back down. We'll just do this 2 more times. And last time, really lifting the pelvis up, thighs are nice and long, and rolling back down. Now we're going to do a hundreds preparation exercise. So it's not going to be the full hundreds. So what I want you to do is place one arm behind the back of your head, and we're going to lift the head, neck and shoulders off the ground, and the other arm is going to go to the side. And then from here, we're going to just pump the arm and breathe in for 5 counts, and breathe out for 5 counts. So inhale, 5, exhale. Inhale, exhale. The idea of this is to not have too much strain in the front of the neck. Let the head hang in the hand, but use your abdominals to stay up. And 1 more. And then replace the hand, and place that hand on the other side, and we'll do that again. So breathing in, and out. 3, 4, 5, out. 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more set. And placing the hand behind the head and rolling back down. Whew. There we go. That was just a beginner prep for 100, which is really good. Good on your back. All right, next exercise is a beginner crisscross exercise. That's another abdominal exercise. So hands are on the back of the head, rolling up into a small chest lift. So just head, neck and shoulders coming up. And we're just going to rotate to each knee with using our shoulder. So we're going to rotate to one side and back to the middle. Other side, inhale at the middle, exhale. So with this, try and aim your shoulder to your knee, not just your elbow, and that'll really help to get the rotation and your obliques working. 2 more each side. And lowering back down. Good job. All right, now we're going to be rolling onto our front. So I think we'll go this way. I'm just going to fix my hair because it's falling out. All right, now we're going to do an exercise called prone press up. This is just going to get our upper thoracic moving just a little bit. So lying on our front. And hands are your head's resting on your hands. Just gently. That's it. And just take a second to have a breath. Have a breath, have a feel that your pelvis feels even, that your arms feel okay. And with this exercise now, I want you to feel as though your shoulders are just rolling back ever so slightly. And on your inhale, I want you to press your hands into the ground just gently and raising your head up and just looking forward and then back down again. So we'll do that again, inhaling up. Or you can exhale if you want to. I just find it easier to inhale on the way up. So this is just getting our upper back mobile. So you want your bottom of your ribs to stay on the ground. Have a gentle activity of your pubic bone or the front of your pelvis pressing into the mat, just to support your lower spine. And then just one more. Beautiful. So now we're going to go into a swan position. So we're going to have our hands at shoulder height or a little bit lower at your chest. So with this exercise, you definitely want to have that gentle action of your pubic bone in the front of the pelvis pressing down into the mat. And when you do that, you might feel your lower spine feels a bit longer. And pressing our hands into the floor. And what I want you to do is gently press your hands in the floor. Feel your elbows roll behind you as you're rolling up, letting the front of the ribs raise off the floor. And then lowering back down. And again, coming up. So as you're coming up, you can aim yourself a little bit higher every time, aiming to get the thighs off the mat. And don't let your head come too far behind you. It's really about opening the front of the chest. And just one more. Beautiful. Now we'll get you to put your hands back across the front under your forehead. We're going to do a swimming preparation exercise. So we're just going to get the legs moving. So what I want you to do is raise one leg behind you and reaching it long, and then lowering it back down. Raise the other leg and reach it long, pointing the toe, and aim it back down. So we'll do that again on each side. So this is extending the front of our hips at the same time as activating our glutes. And now what I want you to do is just raise your head, neck and shoulders just a little bit off the ground. Raise one leg, raise the other leg, and now we're going to flutter them like we're swimming. So try to keep the rest of the body as still as you can while your legs are swimming. So keep your gaze toward the mat. Try to get the glutes activated so it's not just your calves doing the work. And 3, 2, 1, and lowering back down. Beautiful. All right, we're nearly done. We're going to go into our hands and knees now into a quadruped position. All right, so from here, I want you to feel as though, I want your hands to be directly under your shoulders and your knees to be under your hips. Your hands can be a tiny, if they're going to be anywhere in front or behind, they can be a little bit in front of your shoulders, but definitely not behind. I want you to press into the mat so your shoulder blades are nice and wide across your back. And then just gently let one hand reach out in front of you. And then bringing that one back. And now the same with the other hand. And then bringing this one back. Beautiful. And while you're doing this, I want you to consider your abdominals. And I want you to draw them in. Draw them in just gently so that you're supporting your body. That's it. And now we'll do the same with our legs. So letting one leg glide across the floor and reaching it long behind you, and then bringing it back. And the same, reaching it long. You might get a bit of glute activation now that we've done a bit of that swimming. Reaching it long again. That's it, just having a look and feeling, noticing if your abdominals are lacking again, just draw them in. And one more on the other leg. And now we're going to reach our opposite arm and opposite leg away for a bit of balance and stability. So raising one arm and opposite leg nice and far, reaching the front window, back wall, and lowering it back down. And again, reaching out. Trying to stay nice and stable through the body. See, so with the hand that stays pressed to the mat, really press it into the mat, really get some connectivity with the floor. Just one more on each side. And now we're going to go into a bit of a planking position. So extend your legs behind you and roll your toes under. And we're just going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I want you to push your heels back, so you're traveling backwards. Yeah, but keeping your body straight. That's it. And then coming forward onto your toes. And then back. So it's a bit like a toe raise. So letting the body rock forwards, rock back. One more time. Beautiful. Onto your knees. And then just a little child's pose. Okay, now our last lot of exercises are going to be on our side. So I'll come this way, I think, otherwise I'll cover you. Alright, so with this exercise, you can either rest on your elbow, which is under your shoulder, and rolling your shoulder back, or if that's not comfortable for you, you can lie down on your arm and just rest your head. So I want your hips to be stacked on top of each other, so you're not rolling forward and you're not rolling back. And this other top arm can just be resting in front just for support. And what I want you to do is lift that top leg, reaching it long, and then lowering it back down. And inhaling up and exhaling down. So really try and reach it long as opposed to reaching it high. So we'll just do 8 of these. That's 8. Now we'll go halfway here, and we're just going to kick our foot forward and then extend it back behind us. Oh, reaching forward and then reaching back. So use this front arm for support. Try not to let the body rock too much. So you can exhale forward and inhale back. And exhale forward, inhale back, and just one more, and back. And now we're just going to go into some circles. So we're just going to do 5 forward and 5 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. We'll let that rest down. Now we'll just get this top leg bending forward. So your ankle's in front of your knee. Bend the top knee. That's it. And we're just going to do some adductor exercises. So we're just going to raise the bottom leg up and down. So again, it's a reaching long. Try and reach long through the heel. Just do 8 of these. Beautiful. Now we're going to swap sides and we'll do the other side. Coming down. Alright, so get yourself comfy. Making sure that the top hip is stacked straight on top of the bottom hip. Let this hand come forward for support. And try and keep your body on one long line. So if you can have a notice if your head's too far forward or if you're rolling too far back, just try and get yourself nice and straight. Use that hand for support. And now we're going to lift the top leg and then lower. Again, just trying to reach it long. Just don't forget to breathe. That's 8. Now we're going to go halfway. So your legs parallel with the ground, and we're going to kick it forward and then reach it behind. You might notice that you can't reach that far behind, which is fine. Try and get the glute activated as your foot is reaching behind you. I don't know if we've done 7 or 8, but we'll do one more. All right, now we'll go into our circles. So we're going to do 5 circles forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 circles back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Now we're just going to roll onto our front and onto our knees. And try and stand up and having your hands reach as close as you can to the ground to get a hamstring stretch. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, rolling back up. Unrolling the spine back to a straight standing position. And again, so take a breath up here and exhale to roll down. Nod your chin. You're going to follow that raindrop all the way down the front of your body. Get down as far as you can. Don't force yourself to touch the ground if you can't, that's okay. Bend the knees if your hamstrings won't allow you to have straight legs. Breathe in and breathing out as you're rolling up. Beautiful. All right, thank you very much. That's the end of our session. I hope you enjoyed that.